Hey guys, welcome into today's video. Today's actually kind of a big day for me. This is the first time I'm getting back and actually filming. We went on vacation. I had some pre-filmed videos, so I have been posting. It's not as though I didn't, and I've done some behind the camera since I got sick, but we went on vacation the second to last week of July, and then I got sick like immediately when we arrived, and I didn't know what it was, so I was pushing through it, and then the last full day that we were there, or like the night before the last full day that we were there, I started getting chills. Anyway, turns out I had COVID, and it got so bad that I ended up having to go to the hospital. There was like other issues that were going on. It was a whole thing. So this is actually the first time in over 2 weeks that I have filmed any kind of video. I know that it probably doesn't seem like that with the rate at which I've been posting, but I'm now back. My voice is still a little congested, but I'm really excited to do this video. We're going to be doing a wear test, and I legit have a full face of makeup. Some of the stuff I actually ended up picking up while we were on vacation on one of the days that I wasn't like half dead. The rest of it I had to ship to me, so it's like Sephora/Ulta orders, but all new releases, and it quite genuinely is a full face. We even have like more than one blush, so we'll be trying out the new NYX ones. So I'm going to show you guys what we have for today. I will put timestamps in the description box as I always do in case you want to skip ahead to any particular product. We'll do the try on with first impressions, and then I will do a full day's wear test with check-ins for you guys, and then at the end of the night for the complexion product. So this is what we've got, you guys. The Too Faced Born This Way Undetectable Medium to Full Coverage Foundation. You know, what is this? Is this like the foundation they just turned like the concealer into a foundation? Did they already have this? Didn't they have the Born This Way foundation, or was it just the Born This Way concealer? You guys need to tell me, because I'm pretty sure in my mind, the way I'm remembering it is they had the Born This Way concealer that you could use also for a foundation, but they didn't have the Born This Way foundation. Either way, honestly, I haven't been paying attention to a lot of Too Faced launches, so I can't tell you. I can't tell you the specifics. Anyway, we will do a wear test on that bad boy. And then as far as concealers, I picked up the Revlon Glimmer concealer, the color correcting concealer. This has been out for a little tiny bit, I'm pretty sure, but I wanted to get it, and I picked it up in stores. You know, I don't know what the Revlon like Glimmer line has to do with this, why they just decided to bring in color correctors or concealers into the Glimmer line, which has primarily been so far the lip glosses and the lip oils. This makes sense. The Revlon Glimmer eyeshadow, liquid eyeshadow, this one's a little bit sparkly, but as far as like the Glimmer line for the concealer, I don't know what that's about. And then Innisfree, this is a new release. This is called the No Sebum Mineral Powder, Mattifying Loose Powder, which that's something that I really like. Just something mattifying, especially because it's super hot out right now. This is full size. It was $14. Innisfree is not super expensive, so that's exciting. And then I picked up the About Face Beach Freak Bronzer Stick. Pretty excited about this. It took me several Ultas to go to find this because it was out of stock. And then for blush, we did get 3 different kind of blush. We got the Too Faced Cloud Crush Whipped Lip and Cheek color. I'll be using that as a blush. I got the Ilia Soft Focus Blurring Blush, which I'm probably most excited about. And then I picked up 2 shades of the new NYX Fat Cheeks Juicy Plump Blush. The purple I really wanted, and then I thought, you know, because these are not super expensive, I better get a color that I might actually like if purple ends up being like too deep for me. And then very finally, I picked up the Hypnose Drama Waterproof Extreme Volume Mascara from Lancome. I love Lancome mascaras, and extreme volume is totally my thing. Instant full body volume. Very excited. So actually the only thing we don't have today is lips. I'll just grab a random lip product, but that's what we have on today's agenda, you guys. Well, let's get into it. All right, we're definitely gonna have to do some swatchies here on the blush to decide which one's gonna kind of stay. You know what? I think it's gonna be the Ilia. That's what I'm gonna go with. I'm just the most excited to try this. So let's go ahead and apply some foundation so we can put these bad boys on and then take them off. I'm going to put on one of my favorites for putting on and taking off, the L'Oreal True Match, just really quickly and on the cheek, just so that it's on top of something. If you guys know, I just really prefer putting a blush on top of a little bit of foundation so that I can see what it looks like without like my freckles underneath. I mean, not that this like conceals every single freckle, but I just feel like it's a more even application on top of a teeny bit of foundation on my face. So we're not doing like a whole ton, and I'm not gonna set it. I'm just gonna do that much. Of course, I waited to eat, and now I'm starving. It's 11:42 and I haven't even eaten breakfast, so. Although I have not had an appetite whatsoever. I've definitely lost some weight. Okay, so these are called the Fat Cheeks Dewy Liquid Blush, and they retail for $10 right now. They have 4.6 stars, and 238 reviews. They come in 8 different shades, which I think it looks like a pretty decent range. Love that they have a purple. Love that they go pretty deep, but they're mostly like bright colors. You know, we're not dealing with anything like terracotta necessarily or mauve looking. They say it's giving you all the fat perks, fat color, fat hydration, fat shine in 8 freshly squeezed shades. So that's kind of what I was getting by those shades. They're just kind of vibrant. So it's just dewy and buildable, infused with raspberry and kiwi oil, known for its fatty acids. It also has nourishing peptide infusions that are known for collagen support for your cheeks to achieve the fattest look. Weird. Fat cheeks. I mean, it kind of makes sense, you know? Fat cheeks, fat lips. I get it. All right, let's see how sheer these are, because I'm assuming they're going to be pretty sheer. Yeah, I think they are. Let's see. Do they have a scent? Yes, they do. They smell like candy. So this particular shade is called Fig Fizz, which is a soft rose shade. I love that they give you like the description of what it's supposed to be too. This one is Blueberry Burst, which is a cool purple. Oh, I love it. I love it. I wonder if these are staining. Oh my god. Oh my god, I have to show you guys. Okay, just give me a second here. I barely tipped this over. This is an extremely liquidy formula. It just fell, fortunately not on anything, but like all over the desk. I barely tipped that. That is absolutely wild. Okay, so don't tip these over. They're genuinely like juice. They don't say to shake. You know, if there's gonna be like an accident that's gonna happen, it's gonna happen to me. I feel like I have so many oopsies on camera with products, I don't even know what to say. Anyway, there's the purple. It looks absolutely fantastic. These look like they're gonna stain. The purple one for sure. And I had that on the least, and it's kind of stained my table too. All right, I'm absolutely starving. This is just a no-no. Should I put it on the back of my hand? I think that's what I'm gonna do. Did I just lose like half the product? I probably did. Oh well, good thing they're only $10. I don't know, this doesn't like deposit a ton of product, even though it has like a big doe foot applicator onto the back of my hand, you know, in a way that I feel like I would want to pick it up with the brush. I don't know how much this is going to give me. We might end up going straight into the cheeks. Yeah, we're going to, because this is not doing anything for me. It's a super liquidy formula, and I think that it's making it easy to move around, you know, especially because more dry formulas, if they dry too quickly, they're hard to move about. I can really smell that fruity scent. Okay, these are more sheer, so they're more of a flush of color. I'm going in with 2 more dots and hoping that wasn't too much, but I do want you guys to see the color. And I definitely want to see if building this up disturbs any of the foundation underneath, just to see how easy or hard the application process is. I can smell the fruit on my cheeks. It's really pretty. It's not overly dewy either. It's got a nice gloss to it, and it's slightly sticky, but it's not gross sticky. It's not a thick product, so it doesn't have like a ton of substance to be super sticky, but this purple definitely stains. It doesn't claim to do that, but oh my gosh, that's so pretty. It's definitely coming out a little bit pink, as purples can on my cheeks, but this one is still staying cool, which doesn't happen a lot. You know, if I get a purple on my cheeks and it starts turning pink, sometimes it turns out to be like this warm colored pink. This is a pretty color. Very cool toned, very nice. Nice and glossy. These are very sheer. Super duper sheer. Okay, let's move on to this one. And now that I know that you can draw these straight onto the cheeks, that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna give it 4 dots. Pretty sure that's fine. I'm gonna take the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Blush Brush though, because I feel like that other one was sucking up a lot of the product, because it was a little bit more of a fluffy brush. Oh, these are so nice. They really are. More sheer and juicy. It doesn't seem to be like moving the foundation necessarily. I don't know, maybe it's soaking it up a little bit. I mean, I can kind of see more of my freckles than I probably started with, so maybe it is kind of sucking up the foundation just slightly, but it doesn't look bad, you know, because it's a juicy formula, so it doesn't look like I'm putting like a solid colored product on top and you can just see splotches. It's like removing the foundation evenly, if that makes any sense. Anyway, 4 dots still isn't a hell of a lot. I could probably still go in with more. How many did I do with the purple? 6? The more you keep pouncing, the sheerer this gets, I have to say. And I don't know whether or not it's gonna dry down just yet. Yeah, it's kind of a flush of color, right? Maybe it is pulling up the foundation underneath. That one, like adding adding more coverage because it looks more juicy. Now seems to be like emphasizing a lot more of the texture on my cheeks. You can just see it. I don't know, maybe it's not emphasizing it, it's just much more obvious. These are pretty though. They are just a flush of color and super duper juicy. So I think if you want extra pigment, these are not going to be them. You're not going to be able to like build it up super intensely. And yeah, now I'm pretty resolved in saying I think it just pulled up a lot of the coverage from the foundation from my cheeks, especially this side. Like right here, it definitely seems like it's a bare spot. Not as much on the purple side. These are not sticky. I mean, in terms of like that purple one, giving it a second to dry down, it feels like it will and becomes less dewy. This one still taking some time to dry down. I don't know, maybe they could be a little bit of a different formula, but so far that's kind of what you get, you know, just like this juicy flush of color that smell like fruit on your cheeks. All right, I've just taken off the blush, and while it's drying, let's read about these Too Faced Cloud Crush blushes. I'm questioning my shade choice. I got Bed of Roses. Doesn't this look super dark? Like what was I thinking? Well, it says it's a blushing true mauve, so actually it makes sense. You guys see these colors, I feel like a lot of them look pretty deep, and I do not like that cool neon pink shade, which is like one of the only other pink shades. Anyway, it comes in 8 shades. It retails for 28 bucks. I'm probably just gonna read off the side of this. Smells like toasted marshmallows. The hyaluronic oil infused whipped lip and cheek color hydrates skin and blurs texture for a soft focus flush that blends perfectly for a cloud like kiss of color that lasts all day and smells as dreamy as it looks. Is there anything else on here? Soft focus flush of blendable blurring color that wears for 12 hours. Multi-use, 8 versatile shades, hyaluronic oil, hydrating, 12-hour fade resistant wear, blurring soft focus, smooths dry fine lines, non-creasing, true color, non-feathering, non-bleeding, doesn't disrupt foundation, and smells like toasted marshmallow. Again with the bullet point, give it to me cursory, would you? I love it, I love it. Yeah, maybe this just looks super deep. I mean, it looks like a straight up super purple shade, but yeah, true mauve, okay. And honestly, I don't like whipped lip products anyway, so yeah, again, probably not something that I would use on the lips. Big doe foot applicator. Man, my hand is still stained from that purple. Wow, this is like a thick whipped texture. They're not kidding. I don't know how I'm gonna feel. We're picking this up with a brush from the hand. I'm only applying the foundation to just this side of my face. I don't need it on both. All right, let's take a very clean brush. Ooh, wow. And pick it up from my hand. Guys, that was starting to dry on the back of my hand, and I didn't end up like picking up a ton of the product. You can kind of tell. And this is pigmented. I mean, I definitely want like a little bit more, but I kind of feel like you don't need a whole lot. It dries very fast though. It's very soft matte, soft focused. Like on the back of my hand, it's hard to pick up any product without it kind of being a lot because it dries pretty quickly. You know, I don't know that this is necessarily like the coolest mauve looking shade I've ever tried. That's all I want to do. I still feel like that's even maybe like a little bit intense. It's a soft focused popsicle stain. That's what it is. It's not bad, but it's like a cream to powder is what it feels like. It dries itself down. A little bit of product goes a really long way. The only thing I feel like it's kind of hard to put on the back of your hand to pick up in a super even way, but it wasn't hard to blend in, and they're not wrong. It didn't disturb anything underneath, and I definitely think it's buildable. But because it's this really whipped texture, you know, it's a little bit difficult to move around. You know what? Let's try it on the lips. Let's just do it anyway. It's very soft. I'm trying to find the toasted marshmallow scent though. I don't smell toasted marshmallows. It smells sweet, but not like toasted marshmallows. My sense of smell is not the greatest, but yeah, toasted marshmallows, I don't know. I'm not getting that from this. I kind of like it on the lips, you know, maybe even more than on the cheeks. Look how blurring that is on the lip. Do I even have a lip line? Not a one. It's kind of pretty on the lips, you know? Definitely this very soft focused, more self-setting kind of matte cheek product. Also not bad on the lips. I usually hate products that I'm using for the lips on the cheeks, but actually this is nice, you know? This is something that if you liked this formula on the cheeks, you could pair the two of them together if you wanted to do a matchy match. If it's giving matchy match, it's a little bit darker on my lips than it is my cheeks. I don't know, I kind of like this. It's a different formula. I don't have anything that's like whipped like this. At least nothing that I've ever kept, you know, not held on to. And it's not thick on the cheeks. It was thick on my swatch, and so I was a little tiny bit worried, but it blends out really nicely on the cheeks and just sits very flat. Well, it sits close to the cheeks, but I don't think it looked flat. So I want to be careful because I use flat in a negative connotation all the time. When something just looks terrible on the cheeks and you can just really see the edges, that's when I think something looks super flat and just one-dimensional. This is so comfortable. I feel like I might just leave this on here. I'm just gonna leave that. All right, you guys, let's get into the Glimmer eyeshadow. Glimmer liquid eyeshadow. It actually comes in really nice shades. I think personally good one and done ones. There's 8 different options and it retails for $10.49. It says it delivers a rich, shimmering, high impact eye color in one easy step, up to 24-hour wear, won't crease, smudge, or fade. It's non-sticky, it's a water-based formula, and it has a lightweight feel. It says reflective pearls deliver a multi-dimensional effect, available in buildable, shimmering, high impact shades, and safe for sensitive eyes and suitable for contact lens wearers. The doe foot applicator for precise, mess-free, and tug-free application. No glitter fallout. Glides on smoothly and blends evenly. So all of the shades in the 8 different shades that they have, they're all glimmery. There's no like matte one, which makes sense. The Revlon Glimmer. Oh, I swatched it and then got a phone call. So here it is all rubbed in, super pretty, sparkly. And then this is kind of what it looks like when you lay it flat and don't blend it out. It's still really nice, but it's a little bit more textured. This is really pretty, but it dries down so nicely, non-budgy and like not too thick. The thing is though, when I rub it, definitely some of the sparkles were coming off on my hands, so I don't necessarily think this is gonna be like no glitter fallout or like zero. I think you'll get some. All right, I'm gonna lay it everywhere and then I'm gonna blend it out. I'm gonna do both eyes at once because I feel pretty confident that after playing with it on the back of my hand that it's gonna perform pretty easily. It's already like a pretty movable formula. I'm just going to blend the edges. I'm not doing anything else to it. Just want the edges blent and to come out just a little bit. And by the way, I have like nothing in the crease. I'm just like going on top of set eyes. I use the Rare Beauty eyeshadow primer and powdered. And that's it. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. This really is so pretty. Oh, I didn't even tell you guys what shade I had. 201. What is that shade? On Cloud Shine. Like on Cloud 9. That's clever. I'm gonna go a little bit into my inner corner because I kind of didn't get in there. Man, these are super easy to work with. I love that they have a really nice base and I love that they have a glitter. My favorite kind of shimmer. Oh, these are so good. Quick, easy, and not too textured. So we will definitely see how long these last because we're going to be doing a full day's wear test. Well, full day as in I will do at least like an 8.5 to 9 hour wear. But that was so easy. That's fabulous. Revlon's not the cheapest thing around, but in a shade like this, I probably get a decent amount of use out of this for $10.49. And again, some of these shades look really good. You know, you've got some lighter champagne options, blue, purple, green, maroon, and then this one, which I would consider like kind of a taupe shade. Now we shall move on to this foundation. So it's the Born This Way Undetectable Medium to Full Coverage Foundation, and it comes in 30 different shades and it goes deep. I have never had good luck with the concealer shade in finding a shade match for me. This one's in the shade Vanilla, which I did swatch in store before I bought it. It's a good thing I did because I'm telling you, I think I tried 2 different Born This Way concealer shades and neither work. So it's a 24-hour hydration and true color foundation that is transfer resistant, waterproof, sweat and humidity proof, non-streaking, non-caking, crease proof, hyaluronic acid, glycerin, and vitamin E, sweat and humidity proof as well. It retails for a whopping $28. Well, medium to full coverage foundations are totally my thing. Water and sweat resistant is also totally my thing. It says it has a natural finish, even for being a medium to full coverage foundation. Now I'm interested to see, is it whipped or is it runny? Oh, it's runny. See, this vanilla shade looks too deep for me. Boy, oh boy, is that gonna be too deep? Yes, yes it is. Damn it. I had snow before and snow turns out too yellow. I swatched this in store. Dang it. All right, we're going in with a sponge on this side. We'll do a brush on the other side. Shit, this is not my shade. Not even remotely. Are we going to make it work? Yes, we are. We're gonna take this dang thing all the way down the damn neck, on the ears, everywhere. This is warm. It's so orange. All right, it's liquidy, but it's so easy to blend. It might be one of these foundations that, you know, it seems like you're not putting a lot on, and then as they dry down, it's a lot more coverage. So I don't want to add anything to it because I bet you this is going to look more full coverage as we keep going. You know, we put concealer on top, we put powder on top. Less is more. Less is more. Very natural finish. You know, it didn't like mattify the crap out of me, which is nice. The amount that I put on, way more medium coverage right out of the gate. So pretty. The natural finish definitely makes it a little bit of a tackier formula, which I really like. Guys, did it just not like blur my damn skin? I love foundations like this. Love it. I really don't think I put that much on either, like a very thin layer. All right, we're going in with a brush on the other side. I loved it so much with the sponge side, but we'll see. Gotta go all the damn way down. You know, after I blend it out, it's not terrible on the skin. That is not a shade match to me. After swatching it in store, damn, still messed up. You know what this reminds me of? The new Benefit Professional foundation. They're so similar. Although I will say the Benefit Professional one, more full coverage than this. This is truly a more medium out of the gate. I didn't use everything either. They're both gorgeous. They're both absolutely gorgeous. I don't care. Sponge doesn't look too heavy. I mean, isn't too light. Brush isn't too heavy. I liked that amount of coverage. I would not add more. Oh my gosh. It's definitely a natural finish, but you can see it's like a little bit more mattifying than dewy. You know, when they call it natural finish, I'm constantly thinking like soft matte or luminous matte. That's what I think in my head when something says it's a natural finish. I could see this like being a really good foundation applied lightly, normal skin, combo skin, probably set down for someone who has oily skin. Like, this looks so freaking pretty on my skin. Yeah. Much more medium coverage than the Professional foundation from Benefit. Spectacular. Now I'm just really interested to see the wear test. I'm buying foundations so much better than I used to. I would just buy like everything, or I'd want certain foundations to work for me and then they wouldn't, and I should have known better. But yeah, I feel like this is definitely for my type of skin. Oh, there goes my husband just sneezing his braids away. Oh, my husband and my son ended up catching it. Fortunately, they are nowhere near as bad as me. All right, you guys, let's move on to this concealer. Whoa, they come out with a shade that's literally called orange. So this only comes in 11 different shades. It's supposed to be more color correcting than it is a concealer. It is a correcting concealer, but if I had to say, I would say all of these shades are more on the color correcting side, especially for only having 11 different options. Okay, it's called the Glimmer Brightening and Correcting Concealer. Good reviews so far, 4.4 stars out of 2,141 reviews. It retails for $12.99. It does come with your standard light green and peach shade, and then it goes fair, light, light, medium, 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 deep, deep, a neutralizer, shade 105, a brightener, and then orange. That is all of them. So it is a correcting concealer, helps visibly smooth fine, dry lines over time. The correcting concealer shades instantly color corrects under eyes, while the brightening shades instantly brightening. It's non-cakey. Lightweight plus skin feels moisturized all day. Its ultra lightweight formula moves with your skin and helps to create a flawless appearance. Formulated with vitamin C and caffeine and steviosid to help visibly brighten skin. I don't even know if I said that right or what that is. I have mine in the shade, 105 Neutralizer. That's good for me. I got this in a color correcting shade for myself, but you know what? This could be a more cool tone shade for my under eyes that I could just leave by itself. So honestly, that's what I intend to do with this. We are going to use it as a color corrector / concealer all in one product, and I'm not putting anything on top of it. It doesn't necessarily say what the finish is going to be other than hydrating, and it moves with your skin. Did it neutralize? Not everything, right? Not everything. Definitely not everything. I still see the blue right here. Did it do somewhat decent job? Yeah, it almost acted more like a concealer than a color corrector. Let's build it up. Kiss of death. Kiss of death, Carrie. I love the shade though for my under eyes. Ooh, it's kind of a hydrating formula, so I can see that being something that sinks in. I don't want that. I like it built up more than I liked just the one. Should we do a brush on the other side and see if that gives more coverage than layering it? It should. Although guys, I absolutely hate using a brush for my under eyes, specifically because I'm having so much trouble with shit just sinking in. And so a brush usually applies it in a heavier layer and doesn't help with like patting it out or pushing it into the skin the way that I want it to so that it doesn't sink in. I don't like the amount of coverage without it built up. It's not neutralizing 100%. It's not even concealing 100%. And it's such a brightening shade, you know? I don't know. I mean, it feels good if you just want light coverage, which is actually something that I'm reaching for, so I can't say that I hate that. All of my concealers lately have been a little bit more on the light side, light coverage side, light formula side. This has a radiant finish to it. Can you see that? Not very full coverage. Doesn't really claim to be, but also didn't say how much coverage either. Just that it is hydrating, and I don't know, that's what I got from it. Just hydrating. I think we shall set this pretty quickly. Let's go to this powder now and set down pretty quickly. So they don't actually still call this new on Sephora's website, so I guess it's been out for a second. It's a Korean talc-free sebum absorbing translucent powder infused with Jeju Island minerals that keeps the skin looking smooth and matte. Normal, combination, dry, and oily are the skin types that it's best for. So it says everybody, but it does say, you know, that it's like a soft matte look. Portable size and included powder puff make it easy to apply even on the go. Matte finish, fragrance free. It's best for oily, combo, and normal skin. So it's best for, but it says you can use it for anything. It is $14, not a ton of product here. No wonder I've been liking the Innisfree products, guys. I didn't even realize it was Korean skincare. Man, it is pretty small, but it's pretty, isn't it? Like this teal color. Teal is one of my favorite colors. My French doors are teal. My garage door is teal. My house is white with black accents, but I've got the teal doors and teal planters. I just like teal. I like teal as like an accent. I just think it looks really pretty. Oh, I guess you can kind of tell that. Like the curtains in here are kind of teal too. I like teal. All right, comes with its own powder puff, which I don't. Oh, look at this little tiny thing. I'm sorry. Oh, my nails are teal too. That wasn't on purpose. Gosh, there is not a whole lot of product in here though, I will say. Like look at that tiny little baby amount. I mean, I get that you have to be able to move it around, but I kind of feel like there's less product in here than probably should be for a brand new powder. I'm gonna use the little powder puff. I love it. You can't close it, so as much as you get inside of here, there's no sifter or anything. All right, I always powder after I set my eyes. Whoa, it's finally milled. It's going everywhere. Oh, the amount of concealer that I put on is gonna have been a mistake. I can already see it starting to build up, like creep in. Okay, that's nice and blurring and brightening. You know, depending upon how strong this powder is, it maybe isn't something that I want to use on my under eyes because I already kind of have dry under eyes. So we'll see. You know, it's a hard test when I'm using a powder that can be pretty drying, that works well for the center of my face. It doesn't always work well for my under eyes. But you know what? That's why you get to test it with like multiple different foundations in different ways. Anywho, I don't love the packaging, I will say. That puff is sitting in a crap ton of powder at the current moment. But that was like soft and airy, and it's on the matter side though. Not something I think you're gonna want to touch if you've got dry skin. I'm just gonna say it right now. I mean, I think I'm gonna freaking love this in the freaking humidity. That seems like a much more mattifying powder, like a heavier one in my collection. Okay, you guys, we're getting down to the end. There's only 3 products left. You know what? Before I go into bronzer, I actually do want to do this Lancome mascara. I kind of totally forgot about it, even though it's like sitting right in front of me. So even though they do sell Lancome at Ulta, I did get this from the Sephora website. So Hypnose Drama Instant Full Body Volume Waterproof Mascara retails for $32, has a crazy looking wand that I absolutely hate. Use the outside curve to define, use the inside curve to load volume. It's an S shape. 48 hours, smudge resistant, long wearing, waterproof, free of parabens, ultra buildable formula, takes your lashes from day to night, allowing you to layer for a customizable dramatic look. It's like moving around in there. The triple coating systems allows the formula to glide evenly onto lashes, providing an intense extreme volume lash look that is smudge resistant and wears up to 48 hours. Okay. I mean, we love smudge resistant, don't we? we? Yes, we do. You know, I don't always love waterproof mascaras, but I never tried the non-waterproof version. The non-waterproof version has been out, I don't know how long, for some time. It's the same price, but they have a mini of the non-waterproof version where they don't with this one. And they also have the Hypnose volumizing mascara that isn't called the Instant Full Body Volume. And it has like a straight wand instead of an S shape. And they do have a mini for that one. Never tried that one either, but you know what? Lancome does a decent job when it comes to mascara. The Lash Idol was one of my favorites. The Monsieur Big was one of my favorites. I've loved Lancome mascaras through time. Anyway, so the reason that it landed on my radar is because it was a new release. The thing is, I didn't let this breathe. I didn't open this. Here's the S shape, but it's not as S shaped as I thought it was going to be. The picture makes it look like much more intense than that. What is the purpose of this? I mean, I saw what they said, but do I agree? No, didn't say it was a curling mascara, so let's do a little. So yeah, anyway, even though I don't always love waterproof mascaras, it didn't wind up on my radar. In the non-waterproof version, this formula feels so freaking slick. Like, ooh, creamy, creamy, creamy. Oops, I already made a mess. You know, it's not a surprise with this damn fat ass wand. I don't find it like super easy to get close to the lash line with wands like this. You know what I do find it easy to do is make a damn mess. Oh, that is literally one coat. I'm not even kidding. That's a lot. Good thing I have like a deeper eyeshadow on right now because you can't even really see the mess up that I did. I mean, not too much. Do we like this? I mean, I think it's giving volume. It's so funny because it's such a wet formula. Usually wet formulas don't look super pigmented, and I think this one looks super pigmented. But I'll tell you what, it's already dry, so I don't know how much I'm going to be able to build this. That was quite genuinely one coat. And now I'm interested to try the one that doesn't have the crazy S-shaped wand, because that's Hypnose too. It's just not like full drama beat like this one. All right, I love it. I love how volumizing it is and how pigmented it is. What I don't love is this damn wand. Write a book on the wands that I don't like this. Ah, I can already feel it hitting my skin. Wow, I mean, it does not take a lot to deposit good pigment. This might end up being a formula that gets tackier as the mascara sits open and the formula dries out. But right now it's like so slick. There's no control, it just flies through my lashes. So one of the reasons I don't love super slick formulas is because I don't have as much control. And I think they make more of a mess. The right side was not chunky at all, by the way. I think this side is giving more chunk-a-dunk, definitely. Holy shit, it makes them so long. Woo! All right, we gotta do damage control on this side. You know, this eye, like the fan is sitting right here, and so I feel like the wand getting hit by the fan definitely made the formula like a little bit more chunky going on. Some of these freaking lashes are sticking together. That's a main gripe that I have about mascaras. I honestly don't even care if they're kind of chunky and like spider-like. Personally, me. But I do not like when they stick together. All right, I definitely got closer to the lash line on the right side than the left side, but that builds like shit because it dries so damn fast. Okay, all right, I like it. I like it. There's just some things, you know? It's not like an overly buildable formula. It gives me the drama, it gives me the length, it's giving me the volume, it's giving a little bit chunky, so don't go here if you don't like a little bit chunky. I think my son is calling me. I would never touch this mascara to my bottom lashes. It already got to my bottom lashes without me even wanting it to. All right, don't touch this mascara if you don't like a little bit chunk-a-dunky, okay? And it dries super fast, so one coat is probably all you're gonna get. I mean, I kind of like that though. If it's pigmented enough to just be enough on one coat, like I'm totally fine with it. I like it though. I like it upon the first application. I'm not bothered by the things that I'm mentioning because it's giving me drama. That's why. All right, you guys, let's get into the Beach Freak bronzer stick from About Face. This retails for 20 bucks. I don't know, About Face. We're getting expensive here. It comes in 7 different shades and goes deep as hell. I mean, that doesn't surprise me for About Face. It's an ultra creamy blendable bronzing stick that glides onto the skin for buildable coverage and an easy on-the-go application. It says breaking the norm. The top tier bronzer meets skincare hybrid stick is rich in superfruit derived fatty acids plus daikon seed extract. I think I'm saying that right, to boost hydration and enhance the skin's protective barrier. Created with mistake-proof application in mind, Beach Freak easily melts into the skin for a warm, dewy finish that delivers an envious glow to the skin, no no matter the season. Available in 7 shades for all skin tones. I obviously have the lightest one in the shade Tan Lines, which is made for fair. And the reason that I picked this up is because I felt like it was more on the neutral side. Not cool toned, but definitely on the neutral side, like not too warm. But I do feel like looking at the model in the pictures that it's still a very bronzy look though. It's like neutral with like maybe warm undertones. What are we doing? Oh, it says twist me. I read. See how kind of like neutral that is, but still, I get the sense that it's gonna still look bronzy and it's not orange. That's a beautiful, beautiful freaking shade. Oh, I'm so excited. Shall we just draw it on? You know, it said no glitter fallout, but this eyeshadow does have some glitter fallout. They kind of lied. All right, I'm gonna apply it right here as I would a bronzer, and I'm gonna bounce it in without picking it up with a brush. Okay, I lied. I'm gonna pick it up with the brush. It's pretty light and I kind of felt like it tugged just a tad bit over this powder on my cheeks when I drew it straight on. Yep, it definitely did. You know, setting it on top of powder is not always the best thing to do, and I tend to always want a powder first before anything else because I'm using a powder typically all over my face and my under eyes, and I need to set the freaking under eyes so quickly. And you don't have to do that. I know a lot of people will powder after they put you know, their cheek products on. It's just not something that I do. I prefer this so much more picked up with a brush than I do a application straight to the cheeks. See how it does have warmth to it, but it's not a deep shade and it's not an orange tone either. It's glossy though. It's got a dewy finish to it. We'll see if after everything is said and done, if I still like it to the forehead, because typically I do not like a dewy finished bronzer on the forehead. It's just not a preference of mine. You know, metallic can kind of be okay, but I don't like when it's dewy because it's usually sticky, tacky. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't think I love it for the forehead. I have to say it's a really juicy formula, so it's just not my preferred look on the forehead. I will say I think that it's pretty pigmented too. I think it's okay, you know, like on the cheeks especially because it's such a light tone, but it looks bronzy. This is not my favorite colored bronzer though, and it is glossy. Do you see that? Like how much it's emphasizing all the texture on my cheeks? Again, I never say that I am trying to conceal texture on my face. Foundations, maybe I like them to be pore filling and blurring, but like as far as cheek products go, I don't care. It's a little bit of a thicker formula too, so it definitely disturbed what was going on, like the powder and the foundation. I can definitely see it like lifted slightly right here. You know, it's probably gonna be hard to like show on camera. Maybe you can kind of see it right there. Not perfect, not a perfect application because it's so juicy. And I mean that completely, juicy. It's not just dewy, this shit is juicified. All right, the product that I am most excited for, you guys, is the new Ilia blush. A lot smaller than their new bronzer and their new highlighter. Like those are much bigger than this. This is a lot smaller, so I'm a little bit shocked that it wasn't exactly the same size. But anyway, this comes in 6 different shades. I have the shade Glimpse, which is a mauve rose. The pictures of these look so good. It's called the Soft Focus Blurring Blush. It's talc-free powder blush. Oh, I thought it was like a cream to powder. Oopsie. Long-wearing natural finish. Non-comedogenic blush that visibly blurs pores and smooths texture for buildable featherweight color that lasts up to 12 hours. Pressed powder. Coverage is light, so I think it's probably going to be not super pigmented. It has Edelweiss extract, which visibly lifts and smooths the skin, making it look more youthful. Winged kelp extract is a potent replenisher that restores hydration and supports firmer looking skin. And the Soft Focus Complex blurs and smooths with the perfect ratio of light filtering powders. Does that mean it has a little sheen to it? Because it says natural finish. No, I don't think so. Maybe just not like flat. Did I tell you it retails for 36 bucks? So much freaking smaller than the bronzer and the highlighter that just came out. I'm shocked. And why is this not a cream? Ilia's got the sticks, but like, why is this not a cream when you came out with a cream bronzer and a cream highlighter? I don't know, something about that trajectory to me doesn't make the most sense. Probably not what I would do. Anyway, I think the packaging matches the color of this. And here is the inside. I mean, I just like the way the product looks. I don't know why. Very, very soft. Very soft. Oh, so pretty though. That color is just delish. Delicious. Okay, you guys, $36. Let's see what she gives. You know what this is immediately giving me a sensation of? Not sensation, the like the better version of the Tower 28 blushes. Is that not soft focus and just absolutely stunning? I love it. I already love it. Oh look, ILIA is inside there. No mirror or anything. $36, no mirror. I don't even care, you guys. I do not use mirrors in my compacts. So I'm complaining, but I quite honestly do not care at all. Okay, I'm telling you guys, this is the better version of like what the Tower 28 I feel like should have been. You know, the Tower 28 was just like way too pigmented and way too matte and flat looking, whereas this is very truly a blurring, soft focused blush that is buildable in intensity. The shade is not going to get super deep, but I think that it's a buildable formula. Heavens. I don't know where the light reflecting whatever it said it was is, because I mean it's more matte. I mean maybe it's sitting in the fact that it doesn't look super flat on the cheeks, and I really like this color. This color just, I don't know, it looks fresh and pretty. Let's do a final wrap up before I show you guys what it looks like in natural light. The next time you guys are going to see me, it's literally going to be at the very end of the evening where I'm going to be showing you guys like the cutaways of everything. I'm just going to leave the lips like this. I think it's nice. I did end up having to like go downstairs before we put the bronzer on to like get something to eat just like really fast because my stomach said eat, bitch. But I'm saying that because the lip product is still on. Here are my thoughts on everything. Let's start with like how I applied everything to the face. Foundation, freaking beautiful. I hope that it lasts because it's so pretty, and honestly vanilla, like once I ran it down my neck, wasn't terrible, although it definitely looks like it's a warmer shade than I was hoping for. It doesn't look like as warm in the bottles I think it ended up looking on my face, but it is so pretty. It has such a natural matte, blurring, soft focused looking foundation. I hope it's a long wearer. I kind of feel like it will be. I said in the order that I put things on, but that is not how I just did that. Okay, so these Fat Cheeks from NYX, I think they're juicy, and I think that they're actually going to be something that I like for a juicy cheek. I personally love like a glowy, juicy cheek. I just think that they're more of a flush of color. You know, maybe would have been a little bit nicer had they been juicy and you could use less product, that they were maybe just slightly more pigmented. Like that's the only thing that I can think of that I would probably change about it. I do think that I would probably do a formula like that before powdering, just because I kind of feel like that is a product that will lift shit up. You know, I want to say that's like maybe not a product that I would use on top of like a full bead of foundation like this, because I do feel like it would just pull the powder in the foundation, because I saw that. This is not a formula that I like on my cheeks necessarily. I mean, the soft focused effect is nice. I'm getting that with the Ilia. I didn't love this in terms of like what I would ask for from a liquid. I kind of liked this more on the lips. The Innisfree is good. I think you're gonna want to stay away from this if you have normal skin. That's my personal opinion. I think that this is more of a heavier matte powder that's gonna be best for combo to oily skin, and maybe even something best for like humidity, sweat resistant kind of coverage. Liquid eyeshadow so far absolutely fantastic, and the shade in On Cloud Shine is a perfect little taupey sparkly shade. This is everything that I like in a shadow. The color correcting concealer, you know what? It's got limited shade ranges anyway. It kind of goes light, medium, I don't know. The concealer color side of it doesn't seem like it's comprehensive enough. It's not enough to be a concealer necessarily. I feel like this is definitely more of a product that I would use as a color corrector. And as you saw, it didn't color correct perfectly. I think that building it up wasn't terrible, wasn't a bad idea. Like it's not creeping in the way that I thought it may when I initially put it on, but 2 coats is not typically what I would do, so I don't think this is gonna knock it out of the park for me. The new Essence color corrector I feel like is better than this in terms of like shades. This is called the Neutralizer, so it's more on the neutral side as opposed to a really pink color correcting brightening shade for me. Definitely something I'm gonna have to keep playing with. I like that it's really lightweight. So far that's kind of the best thing about it. This mascara is fabulous, except that all it did was like transfer to my lower lashes, so I've spent a good majority of the video trying to like clean it off of my lower lashes. I think that when it's a creamier formula that it tends to transfer more and I tend to make more of a mess. I loved the drama though. You know, I like what it's doing. I like that it's actually pigmented even though it was a creamier formula. But my sense is that this formula is going to dry out to be less creamy as it carries on, because this side where the fan is sitting was so much drier and crunchier, and you know, I got less playtime with it than I did the right side. But yeah, like you just kind of feel it coming out of here. It just feels like a really creamy formula, which is not my preference. Although I will say I will probably end up like loving this just for how lengthening and how truly volumizing I think that this is. Why does my left eye always look like the lashes are more straight than I think that they are? Just doesn't like curl in the same way as my right eye. Anyway, bronzer stick, you know, probably the least kind of favorite thing, to be honest, which is funny because I love so many things about face. It was pretty on the cheeks. I just don't love it on the forehead. I would rather use a matte bronzer personally, you know, even like a cream to powder or even something metallic that kind of dries down that maybe I can kind of place here as opposed to like here. I don't know. This was not in its dewy finish what I necessarily was hoping for. The Ilia blush is spectacular. I wish it was bigger. I mean, I don't need bigger products, but I still feel like what you get with that bronzer and that highlighter is so much more product in a bigger packaging. I thought that their next release was gonna match the packaging. That's all I've got for you guys right now. I will go do a check-in in the window for you so you can see everything in natural light, and then I'll see you guys back here at the end of the evening with footage from 4 to 5 hour mark check-in. Hope you guys are enjoying, and I hope to see you again very shortly. Bye for now. Hey guys, welcome back. It is what time is it? It's 9:30. I did take a nap today, you know, getting over this cold. The last 2 days, because it's been Saturday and Sunday, it's the weekend, I have been sleeping for like 3 hours, or at least like laying there. So let me show you guys immediately what it looked like in natural light. It was pretty. Everything looked really good. I told you guys the foundation looked absolutely fabulous. I loved the blush, so pretty. The mascara was nice and volumizing and lengthening and pigmented and etc, etc. I think it looked really good. I kind of think the lip product hung on for like 6-7 hours before it came off. I was really shocked. This actually might be a product that I like way more for the lips because it was not drying at all, and I kind of think that typically like whipped matter lip products are not my favorite, but man, it smoothed out my lip lines. It just looked super duper flattering. I will jump right into showing you guys what it looked like at like the 5.5 hour mark. Still really good. I woke up from that nap and my blush was basically still on my face. Really good wear time. Eyeshadow, still perfect. There was not a ton of glitter fallout all over my face like I thought there was going to be. The concealer didn't look dry. It didn't look too heavy. It didn't sink into fine lines the way that I thought it was going to because I put 2 layers on. The mascara hadn't transferred. It didn't flake, even though it's a drier dry down of a mascara. Overall, everything was so freaking good. The powder, I think, lasted probably 7 hours. You know, now I'm sitting up here and I'm dewy on the nose, the forehead, T-zone area, everywhere in the T-zone, as I normally do, but it didn't break apart the foundation funny. All it did was just fade off, which is what I like. All in all, fabulous. Just fabulous. Even the bronzer, I feel like I still see on my forehead, you know, like right here, kind of on the sides. I'm gonna say the powder was super impressive by the 5.5 hour mark. I didn't really start getting dewy until later, which is really good because it's a powder I know that's gonna last me probably 8 hours before I start to get sweaty and wearing off the foundation. This was such a good freaking powder, but I could tell that it was more mattifying, so something that's gonna work for combo or oily skin. It's just, I would not recommend this to you with dry, probably not even normal skin, but man, it looked really good under the under eyes too, even being a super mattifying powder, and usually I'm a little bit drier under the under eyes. Like, all in all, what the hell, everything was so good. And man, did this blush last. Usually a blush, like a powder blush like this, will fade off if I take a nap. Like by the time I've woken up, it's totally gone, and it wasn't. I mean, it's not fully there now, but it was a lot more there after I got up. Gosh, everything was so freaking good. This mascara too is absolutely fabulous. Again, I guess I did get like a little bit of flaking. I just now kind of looked at it, but you know, even for lying down, that's pretty good. But it's a little bit of a drier, kind of crunchier formula. Man, I'm so shocked that the concealer did not sink into my fine lines. You can see that the foundation is like, you know, it's gone after 10 hours. There are some matte foundations that I can literally sleep through and wake up and they're still there. For example, the Kiko Milano 2-in-1 foundation and concealer, man, that foundation just locks onto my skin and doesn't go anywhere. This is, though, a great foundation for me personally for everyday use, and I think that the shade match ended up being somewhat decent. That literally just fell. Don't hold it by the cap. The cap isn't strong enough to hold it. That's interesting. Anyway, this was such a good wear test. I really enjoyed everything. Obviously, I'm gonna have to give these NYX products a little bit more of a wear test, so I'll keep doing that and I'll put them in a speed reviews for you guys. I kind of liked the way that they looked and they're juicy, but they emphasize texture, so if you don't like that, kind of stay away. And man, did I prefer this Cloud Crush Whipped Lip and Cheek Color so much more for the lips. That was my personal recommendation. Not at all where I thought that that was gonna go, but I hope you guys enjoyed this try on with first impressions and a wear test. If you guys are not currently subscribed, you know what I say. I hope you subscribe so you can stick around. I'm out of here, and I hope to catch you all in my next video. Bye, guys.